I have 6 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and start the City Council regular meeting for Monday, August 11th, 2025. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shelby, can I get a roll call, please?
My microphone isn't on yet, so I will try my best. Mayor King,
Present.
Councilwoman Niner,
Present.
Councilwoman Newberry,
Here.
Councilwoman Emo,
Here.
Councilwoman Doomer.
Here.
You were right. She was early. Quorum being present. If everyone has had an opportunity to review the agenda, are there any objections to the agenda as presented? Hearing no objections, the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. You also have the consent agenda before you. If you have the opportunity to review it, are there any objections to the consent agenda as presented? Hearing no objections, it is approved by unanimous consent. The next item is a public hearing. I need a motion to open a public hearing for consideration of the Unified Development Code.
I'll make a motion to go into public hearing for the consideration of the Unified Development Code.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion to open a public hearing, and I have a second. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilwoman Niner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Newberry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Emo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doomer.
Yes.
All right, public hearing is open. Here in a minute, we're going to do a motion to postpone that public hearing to September 8th. Shelby, do you want to address that before
I can. So as council is aware, planning and zoning has been going through the proposed UDC or Unified Development Code for possible adoption in the recent weeks and months. We have completed, planning and zoning has completed their review. Staff did send this to our legal counsel for one final review. During that review, legal counsel did come up with some concerns regarding our plating proposal. So city staff, multi-studio, and legal were unable to come to resolve for those issues prior to the hearing at planning and zoning. At planning and zoning, the hearing at planning and zoning on September 2nd, they made a motion to postpone the scheduled hearing to their, they made a motion to postpone the hearing to their September 2nd, 2025 meeting. So I'm asking the council to also postpone their hearing to their September 8th, 2025 meeting so that we can resolve those issues with legal and multi-studio as well.
All right. Any questions from council on this? If you were here tonight to speak at the public hearing and cannot be here on September 8th, if you would like to address council before we postpone it, I will allow you to do that. Please step up to the podium, state your name and address, please. All right. This time I will entertain a motion to postpone the public hearing for consideration of the Unified Development Code, UDC, until September the 8th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to postpone the public hearing for consideration of the Unified Development Code UDC to September 8th.
A second.
Motion and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Newberry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Niner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Emo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doomer.
Yes.
All right. The public hearing is now postponed until September 8th for consideration of the Unified Development Code. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close this public hearing. I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to close public hearing. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
In just a second.
Shorthand.
I'm not well versed at this. Councilwoman Niner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Newberry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Emo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doomer.
Yes.
All right. We're back in open session. Next item on the agenda is public comment. If you would like to address City Council about something not on the agenda, You can at this time. Please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, please. All right. Next item for consideration is Bill 25-26, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of combined waterworks and sewerage system revenue bonds, Series 2025, of the City of Pleasant Hill, Missouri, prescribing the form and detail of said bonds and the covenants and agreements to provide for the payment and security thereof, and authorizing certain actions and documents and prescribing other matters relating thereto.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Daniel McFlying is here from McFlying Company to discuss the ordinance that we bring forth tonight.
Okay, well, first of all, we got your guys' rating back. First of all, I'm Daniel McFlying with McFlying Company. Sorry for that. We got your guys' rating back from S&P. Everything's looking great. You guys came back with an A rating. For a waterworks and sewerage system revenue bond, that's well above average for the U.S., so credit to you guys. That shows a lot of good work by the city. Past that, I think we should be ready to take this out for bid on the 20th, just depending on, I think, when we get those signed documents back. With the city clerk out in May, push it back, but I think if I can still pick it up tomorrow, it should be on time. But then, I believe I just need one of you guys to read the ordinance again, and then the vote.
All right. Any questions?
I'm going to give you a little bit more background information on this. Of the $10 million that we authorized the voters in April, 2024, sorry. This is our second draw on that to issue. So of the $10 million, we drew out 2.5 before. Now we're going to draw out another $3,145,000. So that leaves us with remaining still outstanding issued of $4,230,000 that we have not issued yet. So, and I think Tony might have some of the waterworks projects that he would like to use this for.
Yeah, as you know, we've got our owner-operated supervisor owner-operated plan, which is what we call our 5-year plan. So we've got a list of, I think it's 13 different projects to be used. So we come to a total of $5.157 million for these projects. So just to give you an idea of what some of these are, is Country Club Drive from, I think, Hillcrest to across 7 Highway up onto High Street to help some of our flow across the 7 Highway. Get rid of, we have some low pressure issues up in that higher elevation on High Street to help eliminate those. Lexington Road, College Hill, and Walker. That one is about 2,500 feet of line. 7 Highway and Hillside Drive. And then Taylor and Armstrong between Myrtle and Cedar. Taylor to Armstrong between Cedar and Pine. Pine Street to the south. Campbell Street to Armstrong Street, Harper to Myrtle. And then O Street, McKissick Street, and Lopez Street. All of these, and then we've got McKissick Independence, Clearview Drive, and then Wright Street. And then we were also planning to do an extension of our line to District 1 along 58 Highway, which will give another feed to District 1. If we have any issues on Walker Street right now or if in that area, we end up shutting District 1 off without another route. So that would be another priority on the list too. So for another 5.1, according to the engineer's estimates, we can get these projects done.
And are we replacing the lines or are we lining?
No, these would be
lines?
replacements.
Okay.
Most of these are either out of age to where it wouldn't be worth it, or they're undersized. So they would have to be replaced.
And 2 other things. One is this is a 5-year call feature. We can call it in 5 years if need be to refinance. And it is anticipated the city can satisfy this debt requirement without a rate increase. This portion of it too.
Any other questions from council? All right, before we, go ahead. Did you say something?
No.
Okay. All right, before we move forward on this, is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on this bill before we take action? All right. So I need a motion for bill number 25-26, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of combined waterworks and sewerage system revenue bonds, Series 2025, of the City of Pleasant Hill, Missouri, prescribing the form and detail of said bonds and the covenants and agreements to provide for the payment and security thereof, and authorizing certain actions and documents and prescribing other matters relating thereto.
I'll make a motion to approve bill number 25-26, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of combined waterworks and sewage system revenue bond series 2025 of the City of Pleasant Hill, Missouri, prescribing the form and details of said bonds and the covenants and agreements to provide for the payment and security thereof, and authorizing certain actions and documents and prescribing other matters relating thereto.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second on to approve bill number 25-26. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilwoman Niner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Newberry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Emo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doomer.
Yes.
All right, bill passes. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
The next item before council is a special events application, the homecoming parade for 2025.
Okay, I will take this. Jody's not here tonight, so bear with me. A little background information. Pleasant Hill High School Student Council has submitted a special event application to hold the homecoming parade Friday, September 26th of 2025, starting at 1:30. As in previous years, the parade route is as follows. Line in front of the high school, proceed north Rooster Way. The parade will then turn left at the three-way stop to Myrtle, passing in front of the middle school. The parade will then continue down Myrtle Street to Lake Street. It will then take a left onto Lake Street, traveling south until it reaches the police department at Commercial Street. That is where the parade will end. Participants will then make their way back to the high school by taking Broadway Street and crossing 7th Highway. There are a few street closures that will need to be considered: Lake and Myrtle, Veterans and Cedar, and Veterans and Locust. At those locations, there will be personnel and barricades set up to divert traffic from entering into the parade route. Staff has reviewed the application and is comfortable with it. The only item that we'll continue to communicate with the school on is a detour plan, making sure we have the adequate personnel to assist at those locations. And I think Chief Wright was going to speak to them too regarding a MoDOT application.
Yes, in fact, if approved, I would recommend a contingency in this approval stating that they have to get the MoDOT permit, the right-of-way permit from MoDOT to close Highway 7. And I'll work with them on it, but I think it's important that we put that in there.
Isn't that a requirement that has to be done anyway?
It is, and I would hate to see us approve something and them not give that permit. So that kind of holds that over them. And I'll work with them on it. It's not complicated, but it can be cumbersome.
And when did you say the parade was?
September 26th, and I forgot to let her know you guys wanted him to come to council. You guys had questions. I forgot to let her know that when she dropped off last week. So I do have her name and contact if we need to talk to them.
Same rules as always, parents drive, no trailers.
So, yeah.
Senior parade, you're right, I'm thinking the wrong thing, sorry. Adults driving.
Say we never get those little kids football.
Yeah.
volleyball
There's
teams
lots of
in
trailers.
Yeah, I was thinking the wrong one. I'm already thinking the school year's over.
Yeah.
Hasn't even started. Any other questions on the special events application? Any comments from the public on the application? All right. Do I have a motion to approve the special events application for the homecoming parade 2025, not the senior parade?
I'll make a motion to approve the homecoming parade for the special events application.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Yeah, just make sure that they get that permit done. Next item is a presentation, Derek Byron of Enterprise Fleet Management.
Some copies so you don't have to strain your necks here.
We got one back there too.
Oh, easy. How about this? I'll just pass it down. Jot some things down over there. Thank you. Well, I appreciate the time today and grab my copy too. My name is Derek Byron. I'm the Client Strategy Manager with Enterprise Fleet Management. What I wanted to cover today is what I like to meet with Amy and team at one of our quarterly meetings, just kind of take a year's glance, last 12 months review, and highlight some things. Also chat a little bit about the industry. So if you go to the first page here, these are the areas that we really focus on when we're strategizing and figuring what's kind of the next best approach on vehicles. We want the lowest total cost of ownership when we're looking to find the right vehicle for the city's needs. Acquisition, so you're going to see in this area, from last year, price went up a little bit, and what this is taking into account for is just new model year pricing. The thing I'd like to highlight here, it's not the astronomical number that we thought, and we're scared to death about the tariffs implications here that we've been hearing about. General Motors, Stellantis, and Ford have all come and really haven't raised the pricing, have navigated new things of their plants in Canada and Mexico to avoid passing those implications off to consumers, which is great to hear. They're doing some great things. Incentives have also come back. Last year we saw a small increase from 2023 there really wasn't any incentives. 2024 they started to dabble a little more. Now we've seen in 2025, 26 that the increases in the incentives, which is great because we're looking at what's going to be the best buy. With fuel, volatile, a necessary expense that we all endure, no doubt, but definitely going down from last year. So who's to know? I know election years always have something to do with that, but we don't have anything to worry about that for another few years. But that's something that, with newer vehicles, better fuel economy, so that is areas that we always, look at and find the right vehicle that has the best fuel economy. On the funding piece, feds have held steady on the interest rates. Next quarter, hopefully, fingers crossed, come down, lighten things up a little bit. But as you see, it is ticked down a little bit from what we've seen, in years past there, but quite not what we want it to be. On the remarketing piece, so this is when we're going to resell the vehicles. It's doing very well. Part of that is because of new vehicles, the drive and how expensive they are. It really pushes consumers out. Having that 3 to 4 year old vehicle in the market is really bringing that demand up. And I foresee that to hold pretty steady. And some of the slides I have on the next few pages here, you'll see kind of those results that the city has seen from the remarketing piece on the leased vehicles especially. Maintenance, that's an area that has ticked up, and I unfortunately think tariffs are going to impact this with the parts that we get, and repair our vehicles. Labor shortages and the increase in pay to keep good technicians and repairing our vehicles is a big piece that's driving that number up as well. We have had our program on the full maintenance and the maintenance management. I'll show another slide here of just our technical advisors that work and vet all the labor, the rates, and making sure the vehicles are done at the right time, and so we're not overspending. So that's something that our techs have control of, which is good because it drives that price down. Insurance is something we've all seen across the board. I know my dear friend is my insurance agent, and he hates making that call, telling me that my rate's going up. And that's necessary, no doubt. Big thing that's driving that, and I know we're not on the risk program or anything with Enterprise, but I always like to show kind of what the industry and what we're seeing. Your natural disasters have a big piece of what's driving up rates, and there's more multi-million-dollar lawsuits out there on the road. So that's kind of the areas I wanted to show, kind of what's gone into our trends in the last year. Any questions before I move forward? This is a quick little snapshot. I wanted to take those items that we discussed before and where this last 12 months have landed for the city here. So on the acquisition piece, we've had 6 vehicles, and most of these were the Dodge Durangos. We secured just over $19,000 in incentives. And the best part is government gets the best buy, and these incentives have increased, so that I see to be even more as we move forward in potential replacements. The maintenance management piece, that was the one I was alluding to of our technicians that oversee repairs done on the vehicle and kind of make sure it's done at the right time. I just pulled the last 3 repair orders that we've had on the vehicles, and just over $500 saved, and 2 of those were just negotiating the rate, getting the pricing that is fair and what's negotiated with enterprise preferred vendors. The other was finding a warranty item that was covered on the vehicle. So the fuel, what I took here is the average of what last year's fuel economy had done, and it's not a perfect science, but I tried to look at it and studied a few times. But we've increased the city overall in the 27 units that we have up 1 mile per gallon. Now it might not seem like a lot, but when you do that, I took what the average the mileage pattern was for all the vehicles that we have and what the average fuel price has been, and take that, and I mean, anytime you can save money on what's a necessary cost is always a good thing. So I calculated that we were about estimated at $2,700 fuel savings just with that 1 mile per gallon increase there. On the resale side, so as I mentioned, it's doing very well, 6%. Collectively, we sold 3 leased units and 4 of the city-owned units. All across the board, above 15% of the industry average, which is fantastic. It's brought back just under $100,000 back to the city. And so what I totaled up is just kind of what that last 12 months of the impact that we've seen by, a testament to Amy and, Jeff, Tommy, and Tony of working with me to try to find the right vehicles, cycle them when we can, and sometimes it's back and forth emails, back and forth phone calls, but making sure we're getting the right vehicles and finding the right time to cycle those. Questions on this slide at all? Next, just wanted to snapshot the 3 leased units that was sold recently in the last 12 months there. 2 of them were 3/4 tons, and one most recently was a Ford Expedition. So just to kind of read it from left to right, I'll have the year, the make, model, the year, the series, and then the estimated value is just really kind of what that industry would say is the vehicle is worth. The sales price is what the remarketing team had sold the vehicle for, so did very well on that. The reduced book value is essentially what is owed left on the vehicle at that time when we sold it. So I wanted to point the 3 out because once we applied that sales price to the reduced book value or what was left owed on there, that's where our resale gains came back, and that goes back to the city. Now you might see that the math is a little off between sales price reduced and what the gains are. There is a $395 remarketing fee, which is basically sending it, stripping decal, getting it ready, detail to go and sell the vehicle. And sometimes transport may be in there if we needed to take it to a place that is going to bring the most value in there. There's variety in that, but we'll list those out, of course, and show, but just wanted to clarify on there. But very happy of how these last three leased units had sold for. So any questions on that slide at all? The next few, I just wanted to kind of take a snapshot of the leased units that we have, and what the next slide will show is really the next ones that we're looking to cycle. So that there's 4 total that we're looking at. There's 3 3/4 tons that Amy and I have been working together trying to to see what's gonna be the right for the Parks Department, for Public Works, as there might be a different need on the vehicle, so we're trying to find what's gonna be the right vehicle. So part of that is waiting for these manufacturers to open up their pricing. Unfortunately, they don't do it all at the same time. They try to take it, have one advantage of opening it very early, and some are very late. Ford is one that I'm waiting on right now for the 2026 Expedition pricing. So that should be out, I'm hoping, the next month. They like to keep it under their hat and, blast it when they're ready. So, but I'm really confident that the resale market's gonna hold, as it has for the last 3 years, and done very well. Again, having that 3 to 4 year old vehicle and kind of being the first to sell that is where that demand's coming. That's where we're seeing the resale gains that we had out of the Expedition, especially, and those 3/4 tons on the previous slide. But again, kind of just the layout is working together, trying to find the best vehicle of what's going to be the best price in the beginning, what's going to sell for, and in between, the operational expense. What's going to be one that is good on fuel economy, what is going to be the right vehicle, what's going to be the safe vehicle. So those are all items that we're looking at to determine the lowest total cost of ownership. Questions on that slide at all? And my final, I won't bore you anymore, this is just a little snapshot. I call it a health check. I like to share this with anytime that we meet, just to kind of see a running counter, if you will. So just to kind of give you a context, total fleet size is the fleet value, is just what to turn all the vehicles, sell the vehicles. That's kind of the value that is conservative, because resale, we always want to be conservative and find out that it's much more than that. The model year analysis, what I'd like to highlight there, when the partnership started in 2021, we're just about 9 years average age. Not terrible. But just the work and the commitment, you've shaved off just about 5 years off the vehicle. And even in this last year, I looked at my counterpart Joe, who came and spoke about a year ago this time, shaved off about a year of the average age. And with that comes fuel economy, less, you're not having a vehicle that has fuel degradation, maintenance items that are starting to tick up and cost you where you're putting Band-Aids on it, and really the value of that vehicle when we go to turn to sell it. So those are items. Great job to the city. You had 8 vehicles over 10 years when we started. You have none now. So again, testament to the commitment the city has given, and I know working with Amy and the staff there. So that's happy to see that, and we're going to be going forward with more recommendations to try to decrease the maintenance items that can tick up, and get more money back to the city.
Thank you.
That's
Questions
it.
from council?
I have a couple. I mean, I don't know if it's for you or for the city. The 4 vehicles that we're cycling through, what are those used for? Do we know?
Parks and Public Works.
All 4?
Yeah.
The Expedition is actually parks as well. They mainly use that to go pick up concessions food at Sam's, and we use it for the fair too, when we have to pick up food and things like that. The Expedition is mainly used for parks.
And that's the only vehicle we have for that? I'm just thinking, can we cut down a vehicle? But
Oh,
that's the point of my question.
oh, I gotcha. I mean, it actually works out well with that big size vehicle for that. We do have a Blazer that we use so people can travel to meetings, like if you guys were in town or needed to go somewhere. But I mean, if it's an option to downsize one vehicle, I mean, that's up to you guys.
And this has all been in the budget, this is budgeted correctly and
Yes.
matches what you
And
already.
then the money that they bring back, it reduces the lease payment, or I put it back into that fund to build that up. So like the Expedition we just sold, we made like $18,000. So I can reduce a lease payment on one we have, I've already budgeted, so that would actually help our budget, or just put it in there and build that fund back up for other things, for vehicle replacement.
But it goes back into the vehicle.
That is
fund.
correct, yes.
And what exactly are we approving? Are we approving these 4 vehicles? Is that what?
We usually just, once a year, he comes in and gives an
Just comes in
overview
and does
of how the fleet maintenance is going.
Okay.
So there's really no approval.
No approval.
Any other questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you for your time.
Good information.
Next item is a strategic highway safety plan program agreement and grant.
I'll take this one. During our March 10th city council meeting, I presented an application which was approved by the council for this strategic highway safety plan program agreement. It's a grant that's administered through the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission. I believe it's a pass-through with Mark as well. We had applied for $9,600 is what we were awarded for the purchase of up to 2 permanently mounted solar speed limit signs. Read signs, much like the deployable radar trailer that we have now, these would be permanently fixed. So I'm asking for your approval to proceed with this.
Any questions from council?
Do we know where those solar speed limit signs are gonna go? I mean,
We do not. It's something that we'll have to do some research on and figure out where the best placement of those are.
no,
So, and for the record, this is obviously something that we want to do a little more across the community. So we'll be targeting grants that will give us some more of these signs.
and how much did you say we were awarded?
$9,600, which should afford us 2 signs.
2 signs.
I'm sorry, what did you need from us tonight? Just approving?
Approve entering into this agreement.
Okay, just making sure that's what I was reading. All right, do I have a motion to approve chief entering into this agreement for the Strategic Highway Safety Plan Program grant?
I'll make go ahead.
No.
I'll make a motion to authorize chief to enter into an agreement for the Strategic Highway Safety Plan Program agreement.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Niner,
Yes,
Councilwoman Newberry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eno,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doomer.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Next item is bill number 25-27, an ordinance amending chapter 30 of the city's code of ordinances relating to park regulations.
With the addition of the turf fields and increased congregation of individuals in public parks, city staff is recommending amendments to the ordinance relating to smoking and pets. The ordinance indicates, with the exception of City Lake, smoking will only be permitted where specifically signed and designated. Staff will note that there is not an intent to allow smoking at the Pleasant Hill Recreation Complex, consistent with other sports parks. City Lake smoking regulations are less restrictive. The presence of pet waste, particularly dog feces and urine, can significantly degrade turf quality, create public health concerns, and increase maintenance costs. The staff recommendation is to not allow pets at the Pleasant Hill Recreation Complex, consistent with other sports parks and turf fields, as well as prohibition on pets on the turf playground at City Park.
Questions on this ordinance?
well, I don't have questions, but I do have some comments, but I might keep them to myself for right now. I just need to think about it for a minute. There was nothing against parks, because I think you guys do a phenomenal job, but maybe this is more geared for Kylie, but maybe when we present that information on Facebook, we could give a little bit more explanation to eliminate so many of the negative comments because they don't understand why we're doing what we're doing, the importance of it. Because I know coming from a baseball background, you know, traveling competitive team, that we don't allow sunflower seeds on turfs, you know, you don't allow pets on turfs, but regular Joe Blow on the community doesn't realize that, and I think we could help ourselves maybe not have so many negative if we just did a little bit more educating before we just blast it out there to them.
I agree. We're actually working on developing some signage that we'll put at the parks that has all the, you know, a very brief description of the different rules, things like that, and we're also gonna work on put some social media posts up there.
So, pets. I'm trying to wrap my head around this, because I'm like, take your kids and your dog to the park, you know, just to get some exercise. They're just not allowed on the turf.
At the complex, we're requesting them not even come in the facility at all because it's predominantly almost all turf inside the facility. The city park, we actually have 2 dog weigh stations there at the parks that
Right.
we encourage that once the grass is established, but on the turf specifically, we're trying to keep them off that.
How about service animals? Are we,
Service animals, we have no restrictions against.
You can't really, control the loose dogs, or, you know, I mean, that's.
No, that's why we're asking for an ordinance change, that way it's actually help, we can actually have the police department help enforce those rules.
Any other questions, or are we still thinking?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, before we move forward on this ordinance, is there any comments from the public on bill number 25-27? All right, do I have a motion on bill number 25-27, an ordinance amending chapter 30 of the city's code of ordinances relating to park regulations?
I'll make a motion to approve bill number 25-27, an ordinance amending chapter 30 of the city's code of ordinances relating to park regulations.
I second.
Have a motion and a second on bill to approve bill number 25-27, an ordinance amending chapter 30 of the city's code of ordinances relating to park regulations. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Niner,
Yes,
Councilwoman Newberry,
I'm gonna say no for right now.
Councilwoman Emo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doomer.
I'll say no.
Mayor King.
Yes. All right, bill number 25-27 passes 3 votes to 2. Next item is authorizing the city administrator to execute an agreement with Vance Brothers for microseal on 155th Street.
I'll take this one. So in the last couple of weeks, well, let me back up. The last 3 years, we've been talking about redoing and putting a hard surface on 155th Street. So in the last few weeks, the guys and I have been out and we've cleaned all the ditches, raised the road up probably an average of about 8 inches. Got a good crown on it and rebuilt the road that half a mile that was annexed in. So I've gotten with, Vance Brothers that looked at it last year, and they gave us a price of $51,023.79 to double microsurface that stretch of road. And we would like to go ahead and initiate that contract with Vance Brothers to get that microsurface put on that.
and how much did you say that was?
$51,023.79. So I guess we're asking for permission from the city administrator to issue that contract with Vance Brothers.
Any questions from council?
Was it already in the budget? Is everything good
Yeah,
there?
actually, it was actually budgeted last year.
Okay.
And refresh my memory, we're sealing it because why?
Actually, our ordinances state that we have to have the hard surface in any of our annex streets. It is a maintenance nightmare for us, so.
But it's a road that we didn't maintain before, is that right? Am I thinking the right street?
It was, yeah, 155th is north of town.
Okay.
Basically, I think they call that County Line Road.
Yes, okay.
We annexed that in years ago, and then we never maintained it. The county actually maintained it. They plowed it, and then just a couple of years ago,
They decided
they
they
went out
weren't
and
gonna
drew a
do
line in the road
Right, okay.
and pushed the maintenance back on us. So before we could really do anything, we needed to rebuild the road and raise it up, get it so it would drain off good, and we would continue to have potholes and stuff. But it's been a maintenance nightmare for us, being out there and maintaining it. So we put a hard surface on it, that'll eliminate a lot of our maintenance and give our, citizens within the city limits a hard surface.
Any other questions from council? Anyone from the public like to speak on this before we move forward on this agreement? All right, I need a motion to authorize the city administrator to execute an agreement with Vance Brothers for micro seal on 155th Street.
I'll make a motion to approve the authorization of the city administrator to execute an agreement with Vance Brothers for the micro seal on 155th. Back and second that.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
I ran out of space. Councilwoman Niner,
Yes,
Councilwoman Newberry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Emo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dewar.
Yes.
All right, agreement will be authorized. All right, we're gonna move on to staff reports. Missy, I almost called you Amy, I'm sorry.
It actually happens a lot. I'll be honest with you guys, I know I haven't seen you guys in several, I'm gonna say months, sorry. I think Shelby gave some updates the last time I was out. Really not much since the last meeting. I, was the week after the fair, so there was fair cleanup, and I've been on vacation for the last 2 weeks, so. But during that time, we did approve a fiber installation through Socket Fiber. There will be a new fiber provider or internet fiber provider through town. So that right-of-way permit has been reviewed by engineers and approved in the last couple of weeks. I don't know if Shelby said that the off-site sewer for the Price Chopper project has been done. That work should be starting here quickly. The other thing is the Price Chopper site plan. We have completed our first review, and those comments are back with Price Chopper, so we're just waiting to hear back from them.
Questions for Missy? Amy, you're up.
My audit is complete. He will probably come, or if you guys are okay with him doing like a Zoom call, a presentation, probably sometime in September when I get the draft. And then we did hire a new municipal court administrator. Her name is Amy Wood. She started last Monday. She came over here from the city of Greenwood. So,
what's her name again?
Amy Wood.
Is that it? Any questions for Amy? Jeff?
So, I think last time you mentioned that there was the issues with the pool that we did the hydro excavation for. We did find that there was some settling underneath there, so we took the diving board out of service just as a liability precaution. We are closing down Memorial Day for the pool, and we'll immediately, as soon as that gets done, we'll start draining the pool and start doing that work on the pool deck to repair those pipes. We did find the size and style and material of the pipes that were there, so we're going to pre-order those and make that repaired quick and easy. Our guys have been working like crazy doing punch list items for our side of the responsibilities for the park openings. We've been building the dumpster enclosure. We're putting in a new railing. If anybody's been out there and seen it, they added a concrete pad next to the third base side where there should be additional visitor seating. We're gonna put a two-bar railing across there like what's on the other side, just for fall protection. It's not required by code, but it's just protection for us. And the park openings did happen, those ribbon cuttings went great. We've seen a lot of traffic on all the playgrounds, the splash pad, I don't know if it's stopped operating during daylight hours since it was open. And the pickleball court's been getting quite a bit of use, so it's good to see those finally getting utilized. And then the animal control building, they've actually finally gotten to start putting material and fill in there. They've got the building pad up to elevation, so we're actually starting to make progress on that side as well.
Are we putting bleachers where we're putting that pad, or is it just for like them to put their lawn chairs?
As of now, it's just gonna be lawn chairs or additional, like you can sit on the wall edge and have the rail to support you. Eventually, we'd like to put some bleachers of some sort there, but it's not in the budget currently.
I do know that on the first, it was like what, 9:30 at night, City Park was full of kids playing, and City Lake was full of kids on the playground equipment, so that was good to see.
Yeah, the splash pad retention pond has been getting flexed a lot with all the water coming through there.
Yes, it is. Any questions for Jeff? You getting many reservations yet for like pickleball?
I have not been on the system today, but as of yesterday, I haven't seen any.
I know there was some discussion. People
I think once it starts getting full and people are having to wait, that's when we'll start driving some of that traffic.
Tony?
As most of you know, we had our employee that was injured a week ago last Friday. To give you a little update on Riley, he is back home. He got home Saturday. His leg is still pretty tough shape. He'll probably have another 6 weeks of rehab, just PT. But he's in good spirits. He's doing well. So he miraculously, no majorly broken bones. I think he had a hairline fracture in his leg, and then a lot of tissue damage. But he's doing pretty good. The pump house, we are in the final cleanup, paint touch-ups. So I'm hoping in the next meeting I will have basically a presentation for you guys. I would love to have you guys come and look at it. We could do a little trip over there and do maybe a work session or something to take a look at the new pump house. We've got just a few little things for the guys to finish up, and we should be, I'm hoping by the end of this week we'll have everything buttoned up. 7th Highway, the guys are getting really close to timber. They're only about 140 feet away with the main line installation. As soon as they get that done, then they will be going back and doing all the service connections, tie-ins, the crossovers and stuff like that. And they will be working on the loop back to Ripple Drive. So as soon as they're done, they'll be working on that. As you know, the sidewalks are starting to catch up to us too, so we're keeping them moving on that. Water tower, I talked to USG and they are planning to move in this month, first part of September, to begin the rehab on the water tower. That will be probably a duration of about 60 days as well. As I mentioned earlier, the 155th, the guys, we went out and we rebuilt the road. If you haven't driven out there, I would drive out there. It looks pretty good. It's impressive. And then Vance Brothers are actually going to try to move in later this week. Now that we've got the approval on the contract, they're going to try to move in later this week to get that sprayed. The city, I didn't mention in our my project list with Allstate and my water lines and stuff, but we were in discussion and we've been talking with District 12 about the City Lake. You guys are all familiar with that. We have got a task order with Allstate to get a design on a new water line out to City Lake from the end of our line on 100. Yeah, that's 160 there. No, first. 161st, yes. So from where our line ends there and take that 8-inch line all the way to the City Lake. I don't know if anybody has mentioned that Hickory Hills is going to start up here pretty soon. The developer has hired Cat Excavation to complete that project. We're waiting for the bond from them, and they've been out and doing some mowing and stuff, getting some stuff prepped. So that subdivision will be starting pretty soon. Other than that, that's what I'll get.
Who'd you say they hired?
Cat excavation.
For Hickory Hills?
Yeah, it's Hickory Hills Phase 6, the one that's been on stall for several years.
Chief?
Just a couple quick things. Westport Construction should mobilize next week sometime, to start on the PD renovation, so we're pretty excited about that. I was off last week and was hoping to come back and see it was finished, but it wasn't, so. We have our third annual Citizens Academy starts next Thursday, right next door at the Memorial Building. It'll be every Thursday night for the next 9 weeks. We still have some spots open if anybody's interested. It's a great opportunity to come out, even if, as council, if you want to stop by and visit on a Thursday night, it goes from 6 to 9. But it's a good opportunity to learn a little bit about everything that we do within the police department, and even some of the broader things of agencies and organizations that we bring in to help accomplish the goals to serve our community. Additionally, one of the fun things coming up, I believe it's Labor Day, around Labor Day, we will have the firearms training simulator, which is the electronic shoot, don't shoot type simulator. So Citizens Academy will get an opportunity to do that as well. So it's a good time. It's a good opportunity for us to build rapport with our community, show them what we do, answer questions, and learn some things that they need as well. We have our third annual Touch a Truck coming up. That'll be on September 13th, Saturday, from 9 to 12. That is down at the fairgrounds. Additionally, we're going to have our chili cook-off at the same time, and that will be from 11 to 4. So we're looking forward. That'll help us raise money for another scholarship this year. So we're looking forward to doing that as well. And that's all I have.
And you said your academy starts
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday?
The 21st.
6 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
I will be there. I was late last time. I'll try to be on time.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief? Kylie?
I just have normal everyday operations, advertising, kind of what everyone else has already gone over, but just enjoying this slower period before everything gets busy again.
Shelby?
I don't think I have anything additional than what they've already mentioned. I'm trying to remember. Sometimes I do, and it'll probably come to me later, but right now, no.
Well, that group already has a meeting set up to save the bridge, just so you know.
There you go.
For those that don't know, MoDOT is getting, in the spring, going to be removing the Green Bridge, putting in a modern bridge. It has no superstructure, just a modern concrete bridge. No, they will not tint the concrete green. That was asked.
That's ridiculous.
I didn't even know it was feasible, but there's a citizens group that has asked MoDOT to give us the Green Bridge. They donate bridges. It's actually a very common thing with historical bridges. I didn't know that either. I think that at the end, the cost is going to be exorbitant, and that's going to prevent something like that. But we ask. They said 250 by 40. I do know that Kansas City tried to save one arch of, I think it was the Lewis and Clark Viaduct. But you might understand that was on a river, required barges and buoys and special engineers, but to save one arch was $4.7 million. So, and we would have to move the bridge. You need bigger trucks, Tony? Couple things with that, just so for everybody to know, things that are going on. MoDOT's going to close 291 Highway again here quickly. 7 Highway will be the detour as always. That is.
Do we know when they're closing it?
Do what? 18th.
Of this month?
Yes. They're going to make intersection improvements at 163rd. When that is done, they're going to resurface 291 Highway. So they will also be pushing people this way. And then when that's done, they're gonna take our bridge out, and that'll take several months, 6 months. So it just seems to be an ongoing thing. We were notified, not last week, week before that, the sidewalk project that MoDOT has was supposed to be completed in June, and they extended it to July. And now they've notified us that it'll be extending through November. I understand rain has gotten them a little bit delayed, but it appears that maybe they have pulled some of that project people to work on other projects as well, so everything doesn't get behind. So I would expect cones through November.
You're more optimistic than me. I'm thinking Valentine's.
That is their current, is through November, so,
Got a question?
yes.
MoDOT is also going to be resurfacing 58 at the same time the bridge is closed, but they say it should take about 2 weeks, and they're going to do it tonight.
Yeah, I did it 7 Highway at night too.
Well, I feel really bad for the people that live south of the bridge, because if they've got to travel all the way to 291 to come into town, that's not a good feat for them.
Just for our citizens to understand, the fire district is being very proactive in this. Obviously, if they're going south of the Green Bridge, that's out of the city limits. But as they're also planning, they could be south of the Green Bridge on a call and something happened in the city limits and they'll have to come back. They will just be utilizing all their mutual aid partners to ensure that we have good response into the city for ambulance and fire calls. So it's going to be an interesting year. So more and more projects. All right, anything else from council?
I did have one question for Jeff. I'm sorry to pick on you tonight. The shelter house at City Lake, is there plans to redo that shelter house?
There's not plans currently, but we are wanting to start developing plans for that, yes.
So you would be open to the idea, because I'm real good at delegating people. So I've been trying to recruit some volunteers that would be willing to come out and do the labor for us if the city provided the dollars.
We could discuss a partnership or something like that.
Okay,
We talked about making it bigger.
yeah. I mean, I think that's what
When
we
we
should
were up
do.
there on the first for the
Yeah.
openings, we talked about how we could possibly use retaining walls to make that bigger. So, yeah, that needs to be, we need to take that thing out. Even though it's just gonna be a concrete pad there, the thing's dangerous. We need to take that thing out.
Poster, there's at least 2 posts over here, right?
Anything else from council? They got passed on to the council members. I had 3 complaints about property in town that I passed on to, actually 4 if you count roosters. I passed on to the appropriate people, so. All right, I need a motion to go into closed session for RSMO 610-021 legal. Did you have real estate or personnel?
I do have real estate.
And for 610-0212 for discussion of real estate.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session for RSMO 610-021 for legal and RSMO 610-021 for real estate.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Niner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Newberry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ema,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doomer.
Yes.
All right, we're in closed session. Thanks for coming out to Parks the other day.
Hey,
Had a
Connie.
good discussion with you.
Like this?
Man, if you guys ever have an opportunity to say something, you guys would.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you can do a story from the inside.
Make it work. Thursdays are tough.
Okay. I just, sometimes we love to have to go through it, kind of get that first in. Okay, all right. No, yeah, he ran. Yeah, he's kind of got this group going to save this bridge. But, so we have 2.
Somebody, I told the guy, it's not good for, it's from the state. I hadn't heard about this bridge, but that's what took care of it. It's 3 months. Don't take it down till after our registration.
I know, right? But it hit me almost instantly. I was getting phone calls.
So you kind of already leave it.